All righty. Good evening, everybody. Good to see everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Pete Harckham. Welcome. Tonight, we're gathered to say thank you on behalf of the people of the 40th Senate District for the work of three very special community members and volunteers. As such, tonight we're presenting three New York State Commendation Awards to Maureen and Rick Warren, and also to Reverend Martha E. Vink for their civic engagement during the pandemic and their assistance in helping us deal with food insecurity. We started dealing with this issue as a Senate office when the pandemic hit, and we've had over 8 food drives in 2020, working with our local pantry partners. We collected more than 30,000 pounds of food, $10,000 worth of donations approximately. And the drives were held in Sleepy Hollow, Peekskill, Mohegan Lake, Brewster, Carmel, Bedford, Pleasantville, and Mount Kisco. And we couldn't have done it alone. Hundreds of volunteers joined us in those efforts. Dozens of them were teachers, we should add. And we'll get to that in a moment. And we're so glad for that partnership. Which brings us to Maureen and Rick. Sort of an interesting story. We were actually working on a campaign together at the time, but we knew as a Senate office, we had to deal with food insecurity. And so Tito approached Maureen about whether we could have access to a school parking lot. And then, oh, by the way, can you help us get some volunteers? And so dozens of teachers showed up. And then Rick showed up with the Woodstock van, which proved invaluable. And not only did they participate in that one, they participated in every subsequent food drive since then. And Maureen everyone was pulling volunteers from her colleagues and teachers regionally, wherever we were. We had several of them at schools, thanks to Maureen. And Rick, with the van, brought, as we affectionately call the Woodstock van, which you can see behind Tito, he must have at least a quarter to a third of that food to their locations. And we're just so appreciative of both of your efforts, above and beyond. And I can't thank you enough. So on behalf of the New York State Senate, we're proud to bestow upon you a New York State Commendation Award. I hope it's been delivered. There we go. And it's certainly the least we can do just to say thank you. So if you'd like to say a few words, please do.
Wow, thanks, Pete. When we started to volunteer with you, never did we think that, there'd be a commendation at the end of it. We certainly have enjoyed every minute of being able to participate in this really, really important effort on behalf of your office. Tito's been amazing. It's such a pleasure to work with your office and work with your staff. And it's just been really fun as well. We've had a great time working with everybody and getting to know everybody a little bit. And it's just such important work right now, always, not just right now, but every day. And we have really, really enjoyed being a part of the effort. So, it's thanks. We're here to thank you for creating the situation that we can participate in, because it's really been outstanding. We thank you very much. And we thank you for the recognition. Very unexpected, and certainly, beyond our expectations for sure. So thank you so much for acknowledging our participation. We really appreciate it. And you guys are great. We love working with you.
Absolutely.
Thank you. We love you too.
Every minute was a lot of fun.
Thank you. Thanks so much. And keep that vehicle tuned up. We're going to need it again.
Oh, every weekend.
I think, what have you done? New brakes and new tires, I think, also.
Just chipping away.
Making sure it's in top ship-shape form, just when you need it.
Always ready.
That's great. And thank you for acknowledging Tito. We couldn't do these without Tito's excellent work. He's the one who coordinates all of this for our office. And so we also owe Tito a nod and a debt of gratitude. Thank you, Tito. Great job.
And Pete, can I just mention Judy also, Tito's wife, because
Yes.
Judy is amazing. And I've never seen anybody who has more energy than Judy, really. She's the first one there putting up signs and unpacking groceries and packing up and holding signs. And Judy is really amazing. And I've never, ever seen her for a moment without a smile on her face or just something really nice to say or think, or she's just really lovely. And she's great. It's been a pleasure.
Well said. Thank you. And you know, that begs a question. We need to acknowledge Tom's wife, Carol, who's been at all of these as well and just done an amazing job. And again, as you said, smiling with the attitude, you know, just a positive can-do attitude, whether it's 97 or whether it's raining. Everybody was there for all of them, and they've been terrific. So congratulations and thank you.
Thanks, Pete.
Which brings us to our next honoree, the Reverend Martha E. Vink. Martha, I met originally at social justice movement gatherings, whether they were vigils or protests, many of them that she was hosting, and her courage should not be understated. You know, supporting the Black Lives Matter movement in a community that is not always receptive to social and racial justice initiatives, and in some cases, some people are downright hostile, requires immense courage. And at the center of all of these gatherings, and when we remembered Ruth Bader Ginsburg and George Floyd and Breonna Taylor, Martha was at the center of all of that and continues to be the conscience, I believe, in Putnam County. And for that alone, we owe her a massive debt of gratitude. And kind of the food drives were side conversations that we had at these events. And Reverend Vink has participated in two. The first in Brewster, where she was a volunteer, she helped collect and distribute. But more importantly, the second one, she was the host at Drew Methodist Church in Carmel. And she recruited dozens and dozens of her parishioners and her network to volunteer. And she was key to partnering with the Putnam Community Action Program and the Gilead Presbyterian Church, who are tremendous partners and beneficiaries. And we believe, though we don't quantify exactly, but we think that last one we held at Martha's Church was the most successful that we have had of all of the 8. I believe over 8,000 pounds of food, Tito, and close to $1,000 in donation. And the cars just kept coming. You know, at our other food drives, we have kind of like these waves, and then a pause, a wave, and a pause. This whole drive was a tsunami from start to finish. The cars just kept coming. But Reverend Martha was organized when we got there. She was already setting up tents and tables. So her commitment, you know, to the community is unshakable. And so, Martha, on behalf of the people of the 40th Senate District, we want to say thank you to you. We appreciate your efforts on food insecurity. We appreciate your efforts on racial and social equity. And from the bottom of my heart, I want to thank you and congratulate you as well.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I said to Tito, I thought there might be, you know, like a little certificate or something. And then I got this. I was like, oh, wow, this is like a real thing. So I couldn't have done it without a lot of other people. Certainly the food drive, Tito and Judy were very instrumental in helping set up and all that. Putnam for Black Lives Matter were also there, and they brought food and volunteers. Norma has been very instrumental in a lot of the work that we've done in this community. As you note, Pete, we certainly have encountered a lot of unfortunate and negative, some backlash and, being cursed at and all kinds of things. And so we definitely have a lot of work to do in terms of racial justice in Putnam County. And as we know, food insecurity is going to continue throughout this winter, most certainly, and I'm sure into the spring as well. And so we look forward to partnering with you again. And the parking lot back here at Drew is perfect for that, such a good space for that. And so I'm thankful to our church folks who are willing to open up their space for that as well. So I again, like Maureen said, I wasn't expecting anything. My parents are here, and I appreciate the fact that I grew up learning how to give back to the community. And so that's just, I believe in that we all make a difference in what we do. And so thank you to them and to other people. I have people from different parts of my life on this call, which is really pretty cool. So thank you all for your support and being part of my life and helping me on my journey as well. And love to you all. And thank you so much, Pete.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And please know that, as we continue this journey for social and racial equity and the challenges we face in some communities, I will continue to have your back. Whenever you need me or our office, don't hesitate to call because it's such necessary work. And it becomes more obvious on a daily basis, the fissures in this country, the ignorance in this country, and we really need to do that work. And I look forward to continuing that work with you. And thank you so much. So with that, if somebody else would like to say something, we're happy to open the program for a moment.
Pete, can I just mention one other thing?
Sure.
I just want to thank Michael Grubiak and Corinne D'Amato also for being here. Michael is my NYSET person that I work with, New York State United Teachers, and Corinne is also a NYSET person that I've come to know and love over many years working together. And we started this work with Pete through my role with New York State United Teachers, but also, I want to mention that Ricky and I are constituents. And, I think part of why we're there every opportunity, it's hand in hand. NYSET has brought a lot to the table and really given us the opportunity to have a relationship with Pete and his staff. And Corinne and Michael know, just how valuable and how important those relationships are to all of us as we work, as you're saying, Pete, social and racial justice and support for our public schools as well. So we want to thank you for your ongoing support of public schools. And I just want to mention, as I said, my NYSET colleagues who are here supporting us today. And I look forward, we're so happy and so pleased and relieved that you are back in Albany working with all of us. And we just look forward to a productive session this year. Going forward, it's really a great opportunity to continue to work with you. So we're very excited about that.
Thank you. Thank you. That's nice. And what's wonderful is that, the NYSET family's here and Reverend Martha's family's here and friends are here. So, the community and your peers and your families can acknowledge you as well. So to all three of you, thank you very much. God bless you. We'll see you at the next food drive. And thank you all for joining us this evening. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Pete.
Thank you.
Thanks, Pete. God bless.
We're having a Martin Luther King Day celebration on Monday at noon in front of the courthouse here in Carmel. I think that you're coming,
Yeah, we've got the info.
and so, yeah, and so everybody is welcome to join us for that as well.
Terrific.
So, great,
Thank you so much. I'll see you Monday.
thank you. All right,
Bye-bye.
thank you all. Thanks for coming. Brenda.
Congratulations.